Okay, let's dive right into this. Have you ever wondered how a 2,000-year-old theological text could possibly provide a practical, day-to-day framework for navigating our modern and, let's be honest, often chaotic world? It's so easy to look at ancient history or historical creeds as just, dusty words on a page. But today, in this explainer, we're going to look at those ancient words through an entirely new, incredibly vibrant lens. We are looking at a really striking piece of visual art titled Heart's Notes, and we're going to use this artwork today as a literal map. The artist has just masterfully fused typography and theology to show us how passive belief can actually be transformed into an active, resilient life. It's a completely brilliant visual decoder for one of history's most famous texts, and we are going to break it down together, letter by letter, stroke by stroke. So, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with decoding an ancient confession, then move into our foundation, returning to God. After that, truth, knowing the divine, followed by community in the fellowship boat. Then we'll look at hope, blossoming like Christ, and finally how belief is translated into life.
Section 1. Decoding an ancient confession.
You might actually be surprised to learn that this foundational confession wasn't written directly by the 12 apostles themselves. Looking at the history here, you can see this wasn't just jotted down overnight. It was intricately forged and synthesized from their teachings by the early church over a really long time. An initial prototype emerged way back in the 2nd century. From there, it was carefully shaped, tested, and refined over hundreds of years until its contents were formally finalized around the 7th and 8th centuries. And today, today it stands as a universal confession that has linked Christians across the globe for nearly 2 millennia. So the crucial point here is understanding exactly why this text was created in the first place. Basically, it served 3 massive historical purposes. First up, it was a public baptismal confession, literally, a way for individuals to draw a line in the sand and declare exactly what they stood for. Second, it acted as a concise teaching tool, kind of like a quick start guide to the core tenets of the faith. And third, it formed a strict theological boundary to defend the early church against creeping heresies. Understanding this weight really sets the stakes for why reinterpreting it for the modern day matters so much.
Section 2. Foundation. Returning to God.
Okay, I want you to direct your eyes to the far left side of the canvas. Notice that letter I. The artist has designed it as a towering, super sturdy structure with a distinct red cross resting right on top of it. This perfectly captures our first thematic repetition. I believe, so I return to God. This tower is an incredibly powerful visual symbol representing the soul's refuge. It acts as the foundational anchor of faith when absolutely everything else in the world feels like it's spinning out of control. And that red cross up at the pinnacle? That signifies redemption. It visually grounds this abstract concept that turning from doubt to belief actually gives us ultimate security. It establishes the identity of being a child of the Most High King, providing a totally unshakable life purpose.
Section 3. Truth. Knowing the divine.
Now, what is really interesting is right in the center of the canvas. Draw your attention to that solid brown structure forming the letter B in the word believe. Look at how incredibly thick and grounded those lines are compared to the rest of the piece. These strong wooden pillars, they symbolize the grounding truth of the scriptures. The idea being presented here is that knowing God isn't just some intellectual exercise. You have to root yourself in truth. Those grounding brown tones represent the unceasing nourishment you need for a disciplined, righteous life. It's basically the visual echo of the phrase, I believe, so I will know God. You just can't stand tall without a solid framework, right?
Section 4. Community. The fellowship boat.
Now take a look at the lower half of the painting. Do you notice those dark, sweeping brushstrokes right at the very bottom? And then look at how the colorful, overlapping lowercase letters, the E-L-I-V-E, are resting directly upon that dark base. This brilliantly illustrates the concept of the church as a fellowship boat. That black base is the vessel of salvation, a literal boat carrying individuals right through the massive storms of the world. But look at the letters themselves. They are brightly colored, and they're all overlapping. This represents our diverse gifts, our unity, and mutual love. It visualizes the principle, I believe, so I will belong to Christ's body. It's a gorgeous reminder that navigating the choppy waters of life was never meant to be a solo mission. We absolutely have to bear each other's burdens.
Section 5. Hope. Blossoming like Christ.
Next, let's guide your eyes over to the right side of the canvas. Observe how the green letter V doesn't just statically sit there. It sprouts upward, almost like a plant desperately reaching for the light. And what exactly is it reaching for? It's drawn to that bright, glowing yellow cross up in the upper corner, cutting straight through the dark charcoal background. Let's move to and see how this visual builds our final rhythmic principle. I believe, so I will live in eternal hope. That green V is a living stem. It's a visual metaphor for a fruitful life that is constantly growing and transforming. And that yellow cross acts as a beacon, a morning star of eternal hope that just totally dispels the darkness and the fear of the unknown. It's showing us that resurrection hope lights the path forward, no matter how dark or scary the background gets. Section 6. Believe translated into life. All right, take one step back with me and look at the whole word again. This is absolutely the artist's ultimate masterstroke. Did you catch it yet? The elongated letters E-L-I-V are inherently embedded right there within the word believe. And I love this because this isn't just a clever little design trick, it is a profound statement proving that genuine faith is never just verbal. You literally cannot have belief without live right inside of it. Let's contrast these two concepts clearly because it's so important. Believe often represents an internal state. Reciting those historical creeds, holding on to doctrines purely in your mind. But live? That is external and it's active. It's about actually navigating the storms of life with real purpose, leaning on your community in that fellowship boat. The bold calligraphy at the very top of the canvas reads, "I believe, so I live." It perfectly bridges the gap, showing us that ancient theology demands daily, vibrant action. The source material for this artwork actually pairs this visual journey with a really powerful bedtime liturgy that says, "I am a child of the Most High King. I will not be moved. For my God is with me and goes before me. I do not fear because I am His." This just perfectly encapsulates the entire journey of the canvas, moving from the heavy doubt of the dark waters to the bright, warm conviction of the yellow cross, leaving the individual totally secure in the face of fear. Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway for you today. The artwork brilliantly shows that the word believe structurally contains the word live. You cannot separate the two. So I'm going to leave you with this. How are you translating your own core beliefs into the actual practical way you navigate the storms of your daily life? Are your beliefs just a sturdy tower in your mind, or are they the active boat that carries you and others safely through the waters? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to keep looking for the map hidden inside the art all around you.